Good morning, everybody. Everybody's doing well, I hope. I have no kids yet. I'm also 15 minutes earlier than usual. That might explain it. But those of you who have kids, those of you who are around kids from time to time know this weird fact that yesterday my daughters had no school and they were staying home so they could sleep in. And at 6:30, I had Charlie diving into the bed like, "Hey, it's time to wake up." And at like 7:30, I'm leaving to do something for work, and Kate's awake and she's up. 6:30 and 7:30. Today, the day we have our show, it's 8:15 and I hear silence down the hall. It's one of those anomalies of kids where when they need to get up, it's not happening. But when they don't have to get up, the alarm goes off in their head and they're wide awake and ready. There's no explanation for it, but it's true. But let's see who all is making it here in the show. We got this guy, Downright Nerdy Podcast, who I'm going to hopefully see next week. I'm so jazzed on this. No, sorry, 2 weeks. In a little less than 2 weeks. I'm going to be able to hang out with Michael and Riley. I hope that's the plan. That's the exciting plan. We got Brandon who says I'm the human target because I don't miss on spec. Really don't think that that's true. Not a spec channel, but I try to just temper the ocean waves of speculation in comics from time to time when I feel like it's going a little tsunami style. I try to temper the wave a little bit. But good morning to you, Brandon. Brandon had a phenomenal interview with a writer named Simon Spurrier, who was most recently my favorite writer on X-Men because he was doing the Way of X and the Onslaught storyline with Nightcrawler. I mean, it was between that and Al Ewing's run with Storm in Sword. Those were the two X books that I've loved the most at the end of Hickman's run. So his interview with Cy Spurrier was fantastic. And I got a lot of great insight into his process and some of the things he's working on. So if you missed it, you should check it out on Brandon's channel. Really, really great. We got Kevin, a SoCal homie, Entropy in Comics. Good to see you this morning, Kevin. Katie Kaboom, how are you doing? Good things happening for you, I hope. Simon says, good morning, comic book fam. Hope all are doing well today. We're trying. I got sleepy heads today, which is weird because they were wide awake early yesterday. We got Jennifer in the chat. What is going on, Jennifer? I hope that you and Mars are going to get to do your show tomorrow because I've been missing it. The last 2 weeks, I've been missing that show. I know Mars is moving. If you don't know, Jennifer's partner on her Sunday morning or Sunday, I guess it's afternoon comic talk show. Missing Mars because of moving, and that's always really stressful and dramatic and difficult. But I'm hopeful that they're backing up and running tomorrow. We got Steve from Captain Comics. Good morning to you, sir. We got Beckerman in the chat. Good morning to you. We got C-List E-Man in the chat. Good morning. I hope you're doing well. Kaboom says, my daughter, who is 2.5, wakes up around 7:30. It's nice when they're consistent. It's nice when they're consistent. I just couldn't believe it. Yesterday morning, I was like, sweet, I'm going to let the girls sleep in. I'll run off to work, around 7:30 or 8. I could be back. Who knows? They might still be asleep. It was perfect. And 6:30, Charlie barrels in and jumps in the bed. She's like, hey, what's going on? Yeah. JP, what is going on, JP? We are prepping for Comic Gories again on Monday night. So make sure you are tuned in and ready. Monday night, we have our second Winter Olympics event. If you missed the Indie Medley, it was buck wild. We had some hilarious shenanigans. Hialeah Comic Bro was the gold medal champ, but how he won it was pretty exciting. So if you missed it, you got to check it out. We have, I believe it's, I think it's speed slabbing on Monday night. Yeah, so it's only slabbed comics Monday night, so be ready for that. E-Man says, oh my God, that's how old I am. It's Saturday and I woke up at 6, but on the weekdays, I can sleep till 8. I don't know if that makes you old. It seems like it makes you like my teenagers. Speculation will be replaced by the word key collector. That's fair. That's fair. What's up, Ariel? Good morning to you. I hope things are doing well. Marvin Wynn, what is going on? Comic creator and artist. Good to see you, sir. Don't let John fool you. He's all about spec. Hashtag Susan Spec. I am about Susan Spec. Always about that. What's up, Chet? John will be at the gym for 3 hours, so don't disturb him, right? Keep scrolling, keep scrolling. Yeah, speed slabbing on Comigories is Monday. There it is. Boom. I was laughing this morning watching Super Russ's TikTok videos this morning. Super Russ is a very, very funny guy. Good to see you, Russ. I hope you're doing well, my friend. So there you go. That's my morning so far. Oh, you got Eric, 2 boys and their pops. What's going on? Good morning to you. I hope things are going well in your world. So I have a somewhat exciting day today. Ooh, straighten that out a little bit. Because I'm going to finally get to go comic hunting at shops. I haven't done this in about 2 years. I think it's been about that long as far as like going and hitting a few different shops and going hunting. I haven't done that in forever, and I'm very, 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 very excited to do it. On top of which, I'm going to be hanging out with 5 community members. Only one I've ever met before in person. Mostly it's the Team Nerd Herd crew, Steve, Hip Hops, and me. We got Alonzo. We got Jeff. We're going to have JD from Raging Cajun Comics. And I know I'm forgetting somebody, but I'm forgetting. But there's going to be a whole crew of us hitting a few different shops here in Southern California. So I'm very much looking forward to that. In fact, when this show, the reason I'm 15 minutes early today is so that I have a little cushion so that I can drive and make it there without having to break any laws. So we started a little early, and the girls still haven't made it out here yet. But the whole purpose is getting over there and checking out some great books and hopefully finding some fun stuff, but mostly seeing some fun community members who live in my area that I've never had the chance to meet up with before. So I'm very excited about that. Perry says, take my hand. If you don't, you'll die. Hey, so last night, so this is, I'm going to get to the, I'm going to save this story for just a little bit, Perry. But yes. Thanks, Chet. Yes, I do like this Mark Jewelers variant shirt. It is one of my favorite comic book shirts. Super comfy, too. Super comfy. I got Amazing Spider-Man 35 for your birthday. Hey, firstly, happy birthday, Katie. 2 days late. I'm sorry. Happy birthday. And Amazing Spider-Man 35. Nice book. Or was it Spider-Man 35? Either. I don't know what Spider-Man 35 is, but ASM 35, that's a pretty sweet book. So I'm going to look it up real quick just so if I know what Spider-Man 35 is. Spider-Man 35 images. Spider-Man 35 is a Maximum Carnage crossover. ASM 35 is the Molten Man. So I'm assuming you mean Molten Man, but I'm not sure. Yeah, it's been too long. It's been too long hunting for comics, for me especially. I've done way too much eBay. Sharon, Life with 2 YouTubers, how are you doing? Good to see you. The girls are acting like they're asleep, even though yesterday they were both wide awake at 7:30 and 6:30, waking me up. Not acceptable that they're asleep today. So there you go. I'm going to probably be doing most of the stuff on my Instagram. I'll probably be live streaming from my phone whenever we're out. And snapping photos of us together and when we grab a bite to eat or whatever. So lots of that goodies. So behind me, I decided to do a Mike Zeck Wall of Fame. I'm a big Mike Zeck fan. If you don't know that artist, he did the Secret Wars run. He did the Kraven's Last Hunt storyline. And he did a fantastic set of comics from Captain America. So I have a little smattering of all that stuff here. Secret Wars is here, and then behind me here, got some Captain America on the sides, and then some Kraven's Last Hunt going on there. Just a phenomenal artist, really, really, really talented. And I think his Captain America covers really undervalued, underappreciated. I even used the annual number 8 with Wolverine versus Captain America as the thumbnail for this because I was like in a Mike Zeck mid-80s kind of mood this morning. Let's see here. ASM 35. There you go. Molten Man. Kate is still totally asleep. Rena is already at work. Oof, that's rough. Let's see who. This is a Mike Mayhew cover over here for X-Men issue 10 that I got in a trade with a friend. That video is on my channel. You can actually check it out. It's recently. But yeah, I'm a big fan of her covers. X23 covers are always good. Wasabi. So yeah, I just ran into Sith yesterday. I go into my shop on a Friday, which I never do, and I was looking to pick up some stuff, and I'll show you what I grabbed. And who do I see? I see Steve. I'm like, what's up? Sith Lordly, my man. So we took some photos and hung out together for a little bit, talked some indies. So it was a little hangout time. Mike Zeck +2 monitor. I mean, I don't have 4 Mike Zeck slabs. So I decided to put some fun X-Men variants up. Give me a break, JP. What are you doing, man? Let's see. She has big plans for our VS show on the the launch show on the 25th. Okay, there you go. Getting ready. What is going on, Robert? The G-Spot Galvin. Good to see you, my brother. They're having Russell Crowe as Kraven. What? Is that announced? Is that legit? I mean, it could work. I think he could do it. He seems a little old. That's my only thing. A younger Russell Crowe would have been perfect. Not sure how I feel about him as the older version, but I like Russell Crowe. He could do a fun iteration of the character. I know that on the Ultimate Spider-Man run, Kraven was like Crocodile Hunter. He was like a little Steve Irwin if he killed the animals, you know? He had a like reality show and stuff. And so he was an Aussie. So in that way, it fits maybe with Russell Crowe being Australian. That could work as well. I don't know. At least it's by Mike. A Mike. Yeah, somebody with the first name Mike. What's up, Legion of Comics? I got a ton of good DC books that I snagged this week. In fact, my pull list is shifting to mainly DC and indies at this point. But we'll see. Father-son photo shoot. Hey, what are you doing? I gave him some allowance money. You guys are hilarious. Let's see. I'll prep for 15 minutes before. Maybe. He is in the movie for sure. Wow. I did not know that. Dr. Fate versus Darth Vader on the 89's channel. Rena has been talking so much smack, she thinks JP has no chance. I feel like Dr. Fate would have the upper hand in that battle, but I get it. I'm also not I'm a pretty biased person because I'm not a big Darth Vader. I'm not a big Star Wars guy. I like Star Wars a ton, I should say, but I'm not into like all the expanded lore. I'm really just the movies. I didn't get into much of the animated and the comics and all that stuff. Says, I think he is in the movie, but I hear Aaron Johnson Taylor will be the main man. Oh, interesting. Crow is in an unknown role. Huh. I didn't know that. I was just watching a Russell Crowe movie. What did I watch the other day with him in it? Oh, I was watching Les Miserables. It's on Netflix, I think, right now. And I haven't seen it in a really long time. And I forgot how how he is the weakest part of that movie. Russell Crowe really dragging that movie down. I predicted that would happen to anyone who actually starts spreading their wings more. For me, what it is my Marvel reading is just Daredevil by Zdarsky, anything in that universe. And I'm reading all the X titles digitally, so I'm not actually buying those issues in raw form, which really just leaves the DC books I'm enjoying and the indies that I'm enjoying, and that's pretty much it as far as like my weekly pickups. So it's kind of where I'm at with my prices these days. Okay, Aaron Taylor Johnson is playing Kraven. People are mad about the casting, so they have all decided that Crow will be. Well, I mean, hey, maybe it's like the next generation. There you go. I mean, that could be it. All right, well, let's get into some books that I got. I'll do the stuff I snagged at my shop the other day. Actually, I was in the shop on Friday because I had been talking to so many people, Bearded Comic Bro for one, the One True Comic King, Nerd King on Instagram, about good reading, and they were all just repeatedly mentioning AWA Upshot, the independent publisher, as one of their favorite publishers right now. And I had read a couple of titles, specifically Not All Robots, I think was amazing. So in that essence, I was kind of like, okay, what else should I be reading? So I went in and I snagged a trade for Chariot. I heard good things about this. This is a volume 1. By the way, all the Upshot AWA trades are $9.99. So for $9.99, I got the story Chariot. Bad Mother. Very curious about this. And again, this was a recommendation from Bearded Comic Bro. The one I got from the One True Nerd King, he said he liked Knighted, which the pitch for Knighted, if you don't know, is it's Batman meets the Santa Claus. Imagine if Batman had some superpowers and he died, and the person who found him got the powers, the suit, and had to become Batman. That's kind of what the story is here. A superhero dies. The guy who finds him returns the body to the Batcave, only to find out now he has to take over the job. And the Alfred who is in the Batcave is like, "Oh, great! I'm glad that guy died. You make a way better version. You should be the superhero." So my LCS had all 4 issues that have been published in this series so far. It's a 5-issue miniseries, so there's 1 more to go. So I snagged the 5 issues for that. And the last one I got was Resistance, Volume 1 by Michael Straczynski, which I hear is like a whole universe where there's lots of interconnected trades and storylines. I think Knighted is even in this universe as part of the same universe. So I snagged a bunch of indie stuff, a bunch of AWA stuff. So that's what I grabbed lately. Well, let's see here. Chillmonger. I like Al Ewing and Spurrier and Kieran Gillen. So there you go. That's good. Drop the X titles until Hickman returns. I can't. I want to keep up. I want to know what's going on. So I'm reading it all digitally. And some of them have been, the X Deaths of Wolverine has been absolutely phenomenal. I will absolutely say I loved it. Let's see what's going on here. Has anyone been reading Sleeping Beauties by Stephen King? I did not read that, but that sounds. What's the publisher on that one, Katie? That sounds interesting. I did hear this. And Nuclear Comics has the full set of all the issues for Moths, and they might have had the trade actually already too. But I wanted to read Resistance and Knighted first, and then go with Moths next time I'm in. But that is the next one I'm going to pick up for sure is Moths. I hear great things. Well said. I'll catch you later, Super Russ. Get ready for your stream. I'll catch you soon. All right, this is going to get me back to the story I was going to tell at the beginning. Rod the Rican is here, and we've been doing this. So for those that don't know, I don't usually hang out in a lot of Instagram groups. Like I can't handle like big chat chains full of messages. I get burned out. I just get burned out on it, and it's just too much for me. I stress on it. But one of the ones that I love, that I've been in for years now, has been with Just a Rican and his comics. It's been with Perry Comics. It's been with Tony the Old Wolf. And Tony named us the Yarn Men. So it's the Yarn Men chat. And Rod is always saying, hey, we should watch a movie together. Let's watch a movie together. And I think it was like 6 months ago, we did The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And what we did was we started an Instagram chat group with just us, and we turned the camera on, and somebody just flipped their phone around and videoed their TV watching the movie. And we all just like put our earbuds in, and we were listening to it, but like talking at the same time. It was hilarious. And you couldn't quite hear the movie, but you've all seen it. So we were just kind of laughing and joking and having a good time. So last night we did the same thing. I was sitting there and I was like, I'm going to watch a movie. And before I knew it, the little light flicks on, and everybody jumps in, and it's me, Rod, Perry, and Tony, and we're all watching In the Line of Fire with Malkovich and Clint Eastwood and Rene Russo, and Dylan McDermott is in that too. Great movie by Wolfgang Peterson. If you haven't seen it, Clint Eastwood as a Secret Service agent protecting the president from crazy killer John Malkovich. But Perry had never seen it, and he was trying to, he's like all up close trying to watch it on his phone because we had already started the movie, and you got Tony is put it on his ottoman so that you can kind of see it, but it's all like blown out. It's hard to see the screen. And then finally I like flipped mine around and I put mine up there. It's just, it's the worst way to watch a movie, but it's the best way to hang out with your friends. Like the combination is hilarious. And I want to figure out a better way to do it. It's all off air, so I'm sorry that it's not like it's a video you can go and watch, but I'm just recommending the idea of the social stuff in this community where it's a little bit odd. It's a little bit strange. You couldn't possibly explain that scene to anybody else in the world and have them understand it. But with Rod and Perry and Tony, we were just like laughing our butts off, and Perry getting into the movie, and Perry, like, he's like there, he's like, it's a really good movie. It's very entertaining. Michael's saying the same thing. If you haven't seen, it's on Netflix right now. In the Line of Fire. Great early 90s, I think it was like 92, 94, somewhere in there. Good early 90s movie, very entertaining, and horrible way to watch it, but it's fun when I'm playing it on my TV. Tony's playing it on his TV. Perry's watching on his phone. Rod's watching on his phone, and we're all just making fun of each other. It was a good way to hang out. So, it's a funny little group, just the four of us, that used to include Edwin, and then when Edwin passed, Tony sort of took on the group and kept it going for all of us, because I think it might have fallen aside if it weren't for someone like Tony picking up the slack a little bit there. Maybe I don't think there's a way to stream it on YouTube because all the rights for the music and the sound and the picture, like you couldn't actually show the movie. But there might be a way to just like watch us watch it. I don't know how that would all work. I don't know all that stuff. What's up, GP Venom? And I missed JG. What is going on, JG? But if you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth taking the time and checking out. What's up, Paul? Good to see you. I was talking to Paul this morning, just on Instagram this morning. So yeah, that's what I was doing last night. So if I didn't get back to anybody, it's because I was using my phone to watch the movie that was on my television, which doesn't make a lot of sense, I know, but it's what happened. It's the truth. StreamYard offline, that could work too. A StreamYard offline would definitely work, Rod. All right, what about the books I got on New Comic Book Day? Because that was the stuff I got yesterday. New Comic Book Day, I got Bone Parish Volumes 1 and 2. This is from Cullen Bunn. It's a Boom Studios series. I think it was 2 years ago. Let's see. Yes, 2 years ago. 2019 is now almost 3 years ago. Dang. But I had read the first two issues. I thought it was a really clever premise. And then I never went back and got the later issues. So I'm starting to kind of try to get some of those trades because I really enjoyed the concept, which is about a drug that this family in New Orleans who are selling drugs, this crime family, has created some kind of a voodoo drug using like old bones from people. And it's like a psychedelic hallucinogen, and it becomes the hottest new drug on the market. And it's kind of like, how does this family deal with all that stuff? I thought it was great. The first two issues I thought were really clever. So I'm excited to kind of see where they go with this. Definitely like a darker story for sure. Ariel says, sounds like it'll be a fun watch party. Yeah, I've heard of people doing watch parties. And I think it would be lovely if you could do it online. So I got to look into all the like issues that go along with that. And of course, people would need to have the same streaming services, I think, to do that. And that's where it becomes tricky. If you have one and somebody else doesn't, it becomes a little tricky. So something to think about there. So yeah, I've got Bone Parish. I think there's a third trade I haven't snagged yet. It's not a horror book. It's really a family drama more than anything. Probably more in line with like Breaking Bad than say The Shining. Let's see, some indies finished this week. Primordial had its final issue this week. Jeff Lemire, I thought this was great. Really odd, strange story, but like a beautiful story about animals and their owners and their trainers, but also about like the space race and the history of animals in the space race. I have an inner horror side from my youth because I was obsessed with horror movies as a kid, and I watched all of them. I mean, Faces of Death, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street was one of my faves. I mean, you name it. I probably watched it as a kid. I watched everything. But as I got older, I got somewhat less into it. So there's a little nostalgia there for some of that stuff. Thanks, Paul. I've been slowly snagging his Captain America issues. Of course, I've had the Secret Wars stuff forever and the Kraven's Last Hunt stuff forever, but slowly I've been getting into his Captain America run, which is kind of cool. I really enjoyed that. Good morning to you, Tony. What's going on? Oh, you're reading Batman the Knight. I heard some good things. That's the Zdarsky, isn't it? I think that's the Zdarsky one. Another series that ended this week was Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which I believe No Good Comics did a show on last night. I missed it, but this was the final issue of this Bilquis Evely and Tom King storyline. I love the artwork first and foremost. The ending, I can't decide how I feel about it. I need to let it sit for a little bit and then think on it again and maybe reread it. I didn't hate it, but it also was not what I was expecting. So it's hard to know where I'm at with it. Overall, I would definitely give this series a B+. So what is that? An 8.5, a little more than an 8.5 out of 10. But I got to really think on that ending because it seemed to backtrack the message of the story, which had to do with revenge, not necessarily giving us what we wanted it to do. And the characters being driven by revenge all the way to the end, only to feel like maybe murder wasn't going to solve their problems. But then it like flips the script on it. So it's hard. The ending really left me with a lot more questions about what was the message here? What were you trying to tell us? Anybody else read it? If you did, let me know what your thoughts were on the final issue. Ooh, I can hear a hawk outside squawking. But that's my feelings on Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow 8. Another Tom King run that I'm starting to feel like I just prefer to read his stuff in a trade like Human Target. I want to get the trade for that when it comes out. So those are definitely artists I really dig. Aggressively Relaxing. What is going on? One more indie. No, wait, you know what? Is Legion still here? I'll do my other two DC books because I know he is a fan of both of these because I know he's a Superman fan. And look, Superman's in Nightwing too. What? I read both of these, one last week, and then this was this week's issue of Nightwing, where now they're doing this two-parter with Nightwing and Superman's son, Jonathan. Pop is here. Dad, maybe Dad can give you some guidance on this. Yesterday morning, my girls were allowed to sleep in, and they were wide awake at 6:30, running around the house. They didn't have school, and they were just amped up and running around. Today, no school, but a show with me, asleep. 8:15, 8:30, 8:45 now, silence, nothing, zero. I don't know if that's a thing. It seems to be pretty common in my house, but I don't know other people how they have that. I don't know how that works. What is up, Donnie? Good to see you, Donnie. Hope you're doing well this weekend, my friend. Eric says, what two comic book artists would you like to see team up to work on a mini series? That is really good question. I mean, I love a lot of different artists who are doing work right now. Joelle Jones, really high on my list of artists. I think she struggles as a writer and struggles meeting deadlines. So that's always a challenge for her. I've been loving Bruno Redondo's Nightwing. I think Bruno Redondo could do almost anything. And his team up with Tom Taylor is a phenomenal writer-artist team. I think those are great together. I'm a big Jeff Lemire, Dustin Nguyen fan. Those two together. They just recently finished a Robin and Batman 3-issue miniseries that I thought was really, really great. But they also did, of course, Descender and Ascender, two really great series two great indie series that I loved. So those would be some that I'd think of right off the top of my head. This is true. If you haven't seen I think it's an Image series called Echo Lands. The entire comic is horizontal, not only the covers, but the interior. And the art is top notch. In fact, I struggled with the story because it's very complex about fairy tales and kind of like darker or twisted versions of fairy tales. So I struggled to keep up with the story, but the art was stupendous. And I think I've read 3 issues. I don't know if they're on issue 4 or 5 right now, but Echo Lands does the whole comic in the horizontal form. I'm sorry that I couldn't bring the kids, Ariel, but I appreciate you. The bagels are here. I'm not going to eat them, but the bagels are here. So I'll give you guys some of the kids. You can see the kids. Let's see what we got here. Here's this one.
I really don't like when you're doing that.
But I'm the bad guy. I'm supposed to destroy everything.
But I don't do that. I just save people. And I make stuff for them.
I don't think that sounds very evil.
And this one's for my dad as well. And we got to get at least one of Kate. So here you go, one of Kate. My dad is recommending sound effects, which is an inside joke because when we were kids, I was notoriously an early riser. My brothers, both of them were not. And my dad had these CDs of sound effects, just different sound effects, because he would use them in his movies and things he would make. And he would put the discs into the CD player for the sound system for the house, turn it all the way up, and play the disc called Machines of War, I think is what it was called. You'd get jets and bombs and guns and fist fights and all these explosive kind of sounds echoing through the house. And that's how he woke up my brothers. So that's one way to do it. Boys are supposed to be up and help you with the Whatnot sales. Uh-oh. I got to follow you on Whatnot, my brother. I have not done that yet. Carlito, what is going on, my man? Good to see you, sir. Millar and McNiven. That's a good combo. Do you deliver bagels? Sorry. I wake up my children at 5 a.m. to join in on the morning workout, and then I supervise as they clean the house. This seems legit. What is up, Geek Driven? Good morning to you, sir. How are things going for you? So there you go. Answered, I think, everybody's questions. This is a really great two-parter. I think the third part it was this issue of Superman ends and sort of sets up this issue of Nightwing, where Dick Grayson is remembering about his responsibilities as a mentor to Jonathan as the new Superman. And then it's going to finish in the next issue of Superman, which is issue 9, is the sort of end to this little mini story arc. But it's all written by Taylor, who's been just great. Obviously the Nightwing issues drawn by Redondo are redonkulous. Amazing stuff. Absolutely love it. He says, not completely caught up, but loving the Nightwing series. It's so good. It's just so good. I know there's a hardcover for the first story arc, but the other issues, you can probably find them in individual issues. Dad had some creative ways of waking us up in the morning. I remember him dripping water on my sister's forehead. Nailed it. That is bold. I don't think I would be able to get away with that. I don't think kids would like me if I did something like that. So, I mean, maybe. All right. So I got a little stack here left. What have I not gone over? 2 books. I have not read my Green Lantern yet, but I will say the artwork inside is ugly. It's been very disappointing as an interior art read. Very, very disappointing. The story has been hit or miss, where I read an issue and I'm like, this was amazing. And then I read another issue and I'm like, what happened? So I don't know. I don't know how much longer I'll stick with it. I was going to finish the current storyline. I don't know after that. I don't know. I'm not loving it. Not loving it. But I love the characters. I love that they're using Jon Stewart a ton. Jon Stewart, such a great character. I love when they use him. I was happy to see him as a main part of this. They're just not using him well. That's the problem. They're also using Teen Lantern, who I don't love, but she's all right. And they're using Joe from Far Sector, who I do love. So I think they've got a good cast. I just don't think they've solidified a real cohesive story yet. And the artwork is muddled is the nice way, I think, to say it. Not great. Muddled. Let's just put it that way. Department of Truth 15 this morning. Wasn't a fan of the format they used. Interesting. I'm reading it in trade, so I have not caught up all the way, but I have been enjoying what I've been reading. I'm going to see this guy in about an hour. What is up, JD? This guy and I, we're gonna do some comic book hunting in about an hour. I'm gonna be hanging out with him and a few other members of the community. Watch out on Instagram. I'll be posting stuff as best I can, just to kind of like let everybody see the shenanigans. But we're gonna be over at J&J Comics in, I guess it's Costa Mesa. I think it's technically Costa Mesa, but it's in that area. I used to live right near. That was the shop I used to have when I was in college. And Geek Driven, you're going to be there. Oh, that's Jeff, right? This is Jeff. Jeff's going to be there too. Yeah. I can't keep track like names and then like code names. I get mixed up sometimes, Jeff. I'm sorry. I get like, I can't. I get lost in that. So I'm like, that's Jeff. So that's Jeff. He's going to be there. He's driving right now. Look at this. I'm going to be late. Clearly, I'm going to be the late one right there. That's when I first met Raging Cajun. Absolutely. Yeah. Let's see. I do need to read this. Yeah. The Historia, the Amazon series is supposed to be great. I was going to wait for it to be in one of those nice hardcover editions because I hear the artwork is stunning. I do need to see that. If you ever comment, because some people don't use their name and they don't want to use their name. And I know people that are like, no, I'd rather not. I'd rather just go by and whatever their code names are. Right. So it happens to me all the time. Master Donnie saying I need to get out and do some hunting. It's been a really long time for me. I want to say I might be able to count it in years as far as the time that I've not gone to another shop except my LCS. It's been a while. All right, the last 2. I got the second issue of Bylines in Blood from Aftershock. I've been enjoying this series. It's got a fun crime noir storyline with like the typical private eye detective trying to solve it, but there's like a mysterious, almost superpowered villain who can kind of vanish from sight. Definitely some cool stuff going on there. Really, really great series that I've been enjoying. So 2 issues in on Aftershocks, Bylines in Blood. If you missed the January look back show that I did with with White Whale Comics, that was one of the books that we went over, and we both really enjoyed it. All right, one more. Last book. Last week's issue 4, Devil's Reign. Big issue, some huge reveals. Again, like I said, one of my only things in Marvel that I'm reading is Daredevil, anything that's in that Daredevil world. And this is Zdarsky and Checchetto doing a Checchetto? I think I was close enough. They're doing the Kingpin's sort of takeover of New York. Really, really great. This particular issue dealt with Kingpin trying to find out Daredevil's identity, realizing that somebody messed with his mind and took that information out at some point. Really, really cool. I would absolutely vote for Luke Cage. Luke Cage all day. Luke Cage is the boss. I would definitely vote for him. Anybody that will beat up Dr. Doom for whatever it was, $100, whatever it was, absolutely, I'm all in. Driving but listening. I appreciate it, JD, and I'm going to be driving here very, very soon. What is up, Kyle, the promiscuous time traveler? Silver medalist in the Indy medley. Good to see you. Chelsea pulled it out at the last minute. A soccer game? Is this a soccer match that you're talking about? They must be talking about soccer. Prepping for Spine Ticks is about to post the old pic. Yeah, man, do it. I would love to see that little flashback pic. Sorry, Bobby says, I like that cover of Bylines. You can draw who you want in there. Yeah, it's a sketch whatever you like. Simon R. saying, thank you for another start to the weekend. And I'm sorry that I was unable to supply awesome kiddos. I'm trying to speak loudly, but it's not really working. They're not coming out. But let's see what we got here for you, sir. How about you got a hula kiddo? Here we go. And then we got, how about this one? And I think Ariel would be bummed if I didn't play this one at some point.
Ready?
All right, so I'm going to wrap this up a little bit early. Started early, ending a little early, 45 minutes today, but mostly because I want to make sure I can get dressed, ready, out the door, and ready to meet up those homies at J&J here in a little bit. Hope everybody has a great weekend. I am not on anything until tomorrow night for Dungeons & Dragons, provided that Tony's feeling all right. I know the Old Wolf's been a little bit having some back issues, I believe. So it's possible that he might not be up for playing, but definitely that's the next thing I'm scheduled for. On my channel, the next time I'm on my channel is Monday night for Comic Gories, the slab edition. We're doing speed slabbing, Hoodat, Man Cave, D-Runk, and Comic Man Andy, 4 slab collectors extraordinaire, all throwing down. You should definitely check it out. Let's see, did I miss anybody? Bronze Page saying, hey, John, how's your pull list doing? There's too much Marvel for pre-order this month. Definitely true. And I'm scaling way back. I had weeks when I was only getting 3 or 4 books. So I'm doing a lot better. Healthier. There you go. Got a dolphin in there. That was a minute ago. Did I lose track of something? I try to get back to everything when I can. Have a great week, everybody. I'm going to see you, Michael, in a couple weeks. Hope you're doing well. Everybody have, hugs and happiness and hunting and all the good stuff this weekend. I hope people have some great times, and I'll see you all in the chats. All right.